So, Thierry, how does it feel to be back in London?
Great. As much as I love New York, uh, London is home for me. Uh, I'm French and everything, proud to be. I'll always defend my country whenever someone is talking about it, but London is home for me. Everything did change for me, professionally and privately, right here. My daughter was born here, and also what happened with Arsenal. And I love the town, to be honest. Great vibe also in the town. London is an amazing city, so this is home for me.
What particular parts of London do you like?
I mean, obviously, being playing for Arsenal, you have kind of a to be based North London. So I would say I'm an Hampstead guy, so I love Hampstead. It's Hampstead, Regent's Park, Primrose Hill. Like northwest, west. I don't go. That's where I am. I don't go too much south, southwest and stuff like that. I go to the West End. That's as far I go in London, and if not, I stay, St. John's Wood, around that area. So I would say, maybe if you're from Chelsea, then you say another thing. But obviously, being where I am right now and playing for Arsenal, and you want to stay there, so I'm always going to tell you that part of London for me is the best.
You said that now you're a fan of Arsenal. Um, was that a gradual thing, or was there a particular moment where you thought, I've actually now moved into fandom as well as.
It was kind of weird because I was about when I used to play for Arsenal, but I am now. Yeah, but before I left Arsenal the first time, um, you don't think about that. And I was playing hard, and I always gave everything for this club, and will. Uh, you don't think. I just wanted to perform for the club. I wasn't thinking about anything else, and obviously I didn't grow up as an Arsenal fan, so I wasn't thinking much about it. Having said that, the guys that were there before did teach me what it was to be an Arsenal player. They passed on, the whole Arsenal thing. So I embraced it. I tried to honor it as much as I could. I wasn't thinking too much about it. It's when I left. When I left, it was kind of a weird moment, to be honest, in my career because I knew already that I loved the club, and then I realized that I became a fan because it was kind of weird to leave. Yeah, I became a fan when I left.
So recently, uh, you, you've been wearing Puma boots. Uh, what made you want to come and join Puma? And what do you think of the boots that you've been wearing?
First of all, I was following Puma for a very long time. Some of my teammates were wearing Puma for a very long time, actually, back in the days when I was my first spell at Arsenal. And then I followed their work with the African teams, and I always thought that was a great thing because sometimes people don't care about the African teams and gambling with them, and I always thought that was nice, um, a nice thing for Puma to do. Sorry, and then obviously I've been involved with some other sponsors before, and I have to say that we kind of talk about it with my people, and come to an agreement that we wanted to join Puma because we saw that the future was bright with them, and it was kind of a no-brainer.
And the Puma King SL, what are your thoughts about that?
Wow, you know what? I was just like so happy, and I'm not saying that because I just joined Puma. I'll be honest that I haven't been that excited for a boot, a pair of boots for a very long time. Um, they're just amazing, um, light and still you can still have that leather, like just like back in the days, and they're really light. I'm not having a go at all the other boots that are in synthetic, but I'm a like old school guy, and I like a leather boot. Even though back in the days I played with some other stuff, but that 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 boot right there for me is um, one of the best I've seen for a very long time. And I've been in the game for a very long time too now. Yeah. But as one of the best I've seen in the game for a very long time, trust me.
Thierry, you demonstrated extraordinary calm against Leeds when you scored your first goal back for Arsenal. Are you that cool in all areas of your life?
I would like to think so. I actually don't know, no, but if you talk about the game is different thing, especially as a striker. Obviously, we know that I did miss a lot of goals too, but when you're a striker, especially in the box, you have the ball. So I always said to myself, uh, you shouldn't panic. You have the ball. Why would you panic? Everybody should panic, not you. Having said that, as I said earlier on, it doesn't always work like that. But the first thing you need to do as a striker when you're in the box is to be able to keep your cool. Then after in life, I think I'm like everybody else. I can be cool sometimes. Sometimes I can be pretty annoying. But yeah, I would say I'm kind of laid back. Um, but when I have to do something, whether it is on the field or outside of the field, then I'm committed and I won't be too laid back.
Are there any particular things that wind you up
Everything,
apart from Germany?
everything, everything does wind me up. I'm French, so that's something that we have sometime. We complain a lot. No, 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 no. I just, you know what? I can't tell you. It's something that I see sometime. Especially in the game. If you think a guy can give you the ball and he didn't give you the ball, you're always gonna mount, right? You're always gonna say, give me the ball. But that's a normal thing on the field. And or if you feel that someone did disrespect you, I mean, the normal stuff like everybody else. I have my moments.
You said that English fans will leave you alone. They'll give you a little bit of space. But how much of a shock to the system has it been to return to London from MLS and face the pressure of the media and the fans and all the hype that goes with the game?
I didn't actually think about it. I don't read anything, so it's pretty simple for me. I go to train, come back, go to the game, come back. I don't I don't kind of get sucked in what's been said or not said. Um, it did used to it does affect you at one point when you're really young. You want to see what people say about you, and stuff like that. But you should understand that that's not really how it is. You have to try to do your best for the people that do care about you and do care about the club that you're playing for, and that's it. It's kind of weird. I mean, even saying it that I'm back at Arsenal, it's almost unreal. I don't know. I'm a bit more mature, and even though we all know as men that it's kind of difficult to do that. Even though I'm 34 and I'm a dad now. I was also a dad before I left Arsenal, to be honest. So, but I don't know. You see things differently. Because you're more you're near, you're more like at the end of a career than at the beginning. So you're trying to take everything in. You understand the game a bit better. You have to, because you're a bit less. As I can say, if I can say that, you're not 20 anymore. So you got to be a bit more clever with your game overall on the field. Outside, you know what it take. You know what it takes to win. You know also what it takes to not win. So not to win, sorry. So you're trying to help people a bit more. You know, sometimes when you're a bit younger, uh, you focus and committed a bit too much. You know, you don't take time to appreciate stuff and give to others. Uh, but that I guess comes with age and time if you clever enough, sorry, to understand it. But yeah, in terms of then after, I'm still the same. I'm a competitor. I don't like to lose. I always try my best, even though I said so many times at times it's not enough. But you know that will never go. Other than that, obviously I'm not the same type of player that I used to be. But as I said, you need to play a bit more with your brain now.
If you could go back in time to give the younger Thierry Henry a piece of advice, what would it be?
So, piece of advice, I wouldn't say anything. I will just, you know, if I had the opportunity to talk to a young me, I would say enjoy the ride.
Um, you've won pretty much everything you can in your career. Um, are there any regrets or things you might have done
No,
differently?
no, because I always say things happen for a reason, and whether you like it or you don't like it, you you were sad that day or happy or whatever, you gotta go with it. Everything happens for a reason.
Um, if I was to come round your house for dinner, I'm not saying I'm invited, but if I was, what would you cook me? What's your signature dish?
Depends. I can depends. Chicken, rice, and beans. Uh, Something that's called tartiflette. It's like a dish that we do in France in the mountains. Gombo soup, whatever, rice and whatever you want. I mean, I'm not an amazing cook, but I can cook. So even dessert I can do. Not all of them, but I can do some great dessert. I actually don't know. It would be up to you, whatever you want to eat. Not whatever. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not a chef right here, so but I can cook.
Do you have a favourite meal that you like people to cook?
Well, when my mom does cook, you know, you can't beat that. So whatever she does, especially West Indian food. Then apart from my mom, I do like Italian food and Japanese food, and Chinese and Indian food and Cuban food and a lot of food to be honest. But no, no, I'm pretty easy. But you know, you can't beat uh, your mom cooking.
Since you were last at Arsenal, how do you think your game has developed? Have you continued improving?
You do improve in other ways because we're all aware that I'm not 20, 21, 22, 23 anymore. So I don't have the same type of game, even though somehow I still do have it in terms of movement. But then you do improve in another way, brain-wise, especially on the field. You need to see things even more quicker than when you used to see it before, and being able to put yourself in a position where you know you can execute something pretty quick. Before your speed used to cover all the maybe wrong movements. Now you can't cover that with speed anymore. So you need to be a bit more clever and understand the game a bit more and understand your body a bit more.
You've mentioned that you might adapt your game to play in a more Bergkamp role. Have you spoken to Dennis at all recently about how to play that role?
When I speak to Dennis, I speak about, how is the family, and he asks me the same thing, and how are you, everything is good, everything, that's the type of discussion we have. I mean, I said it the other day, even playing for the Red Bulls, I play behind the striker most of the time. So it's something that I can do, and we'll see. But I will be the type of player I can be. Dennis Bergkamp was a special guy. You don't have a Dennis Bergkamp coming along, you know, every year. Even though you have some special player around at the moment, but Dennis was special in a way because he used to do every time with the game was asking him to do, and that's really hard. Trust me. So one yes, there's only one Dennis Beckham for me. So uh, I'll try to be the player that I can be.
What about gadgets and that sort of thing?
It
Is that something that have you got a latest gadget that you're into?
used to be. I mean, I don't know if you can say. I mean, I don't know if I can. I mean, everybody has the latest phone or whatever it is. Used to be before I used to like everything that was out. Oh yeah, new thing. I need it. Then you realize that you don't need anything actually. Like the new phone. If you have a phone, you don't need actually the new phone. But we all get the new phone because your friend has it. So so you're like, oh, I have it too. It's kind of stupid at the end of the day. But I do like a gadget, but if it's really necessary. Before, even if it wasn't necessary, I would have got it.
What about cars? Do you get excited about cars?
More when I was younger. Now, not so much. Not so much.
Who were your heroes growing up? Your footballing
Well, I mean,
heroes?
how can you not? It's kind of weird because I grew up. I kind of I have some flashbacks every now and then of the World Cup '82, but the one that I actually like saw for the first time, like, and being able to understand what was happening was '86, uh, and Maradona. Uh, you know, that's the first guy that I've seen, doing some crazy skills on the field and winning. I'm not saying his team wasn't good, but he was winning those games pretty much alone sometimes. World Cup stage, it's not like it's an easy thing to do. So yeah, but after being a striker, my all-time hero will be Marco van Basten. Because I think he was the complete striker. He could score amazing goals. He could play behind the striker. Very intelligent on the field. He had that confidence that people see as an arrogance sometimes. But he was a very confident person. So that was always nice to see, and I always looked at him. Looked up to him.
And so today, who or what inspires you now, both on and off the pitch?
I mean, on the field, it's always the thing that did drive me, trying to give my best and see how far I can go. That's all. And trust me, that's pretty hard. Was, is, and soon won't be as hard because I won't be around. But now it's just going out there and give your best. That's all I wanted to do ever since the beginning. That I started to play. Then on, off the field, and I have a daughter now. It's totally different now. It's all her, you know. That's it, And like I said so many times, being healthy. That's all I want. My daughter to be healthy and and live well, and everything is on her. I mean, I don't disrespect. I have a family, I have friends also, but being a dad, you just want to do your best for your daughter.
How important are British people to your love for England?
You know, in England, people have a different way of loving the game, and trust me, they are passionate about your club, and they will die for their club. But it's pretty different in some of the Latin country because they need to touch you, they need to feel you, they need to give you orders. Like they need to, if you don't win this weekend, be careful. In England, they'll come and support their team, and I always admire that. Even more so when you're in trouble, they'll come and they will never let the team down. They will try to. Well, obviously, you have in some places that they will get mad, if you really don't perform well. But at the end of the day, like if you give your best on the field in England, fans will always, even if you lose the game, they will always recognize that. For example, we lost some game in my time at Arsenal before my first spell that you know you the team that you played way better than you, and the fans saw that. We tried, but the other team was way better than us, and they understand that. That I would say that in England fans are more, they understand it more. They're more understanding, but they still somehow love the club so much, and I always admire that.
English are pretty proud of their sense of humour as well. Does that terrace humour filter down to the pitch?
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that. We always, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. I have a friend that always like to crack some jokes, and I don't get it sometimes. I guess because it's my French part, I don't kind of get it. No, I don't actually think too much about that, but I do actually like the way English people are. They kind of love you. They will. It's a if you give it all, they love you, but then they will still let you kind of live your life in a way.
What about music? What's on your iPod at the moment?
A bit of everything. A bit of everything, especially it's old type of songs. I'm very 80s, even 90s, but like can go back to the 60s, 70s, hip hop, pop, rock and roll, reggae, R&B, jazz, whatever. I'm not going to name the whole type of music that you can have there. Obviously, music from the West Indies. It's called zouk. That's what I listen the most. French songs, whatever. But most of the time, you will find stuff that you will go on from my iPod and you will go like, wow, I forgot about that song. I'm not too much into what people are doing right now. Um, Sounds like my parents when they used to tell you that's not music what you're listening. But it's true. I'm old school.
Are you a fan of live music at all?
Well, being in New York now, yeah, sometimes you can go to some places that you have a band playing in the background. That's kind of cool. But live music, the band has to be amazing because that's actually that's music right there. So there's no like computer, no nothing. So I can be very critical when it comes to that. So I didn't see a lot of concerts, sorry, in my life because some of the guys that I do listen and that I love, for example, on the CD to listen to them, don't sound too great live. The last actually show that I've seen, concert that I've seen, that was uh, amazing, was Elton John in the Madison Square Garden, and that's now music. Even though I like sometimes also a bit of computer music to have fun and everything. But Elton John playing in the Madison Square Garden on his piano right there, singing, that was music, and that's actually enjoyable.
Another thing that you said you don't get it is tomato ketchup. Um, you've said in the past that you can't believe how much tomato ketchup British people eat. Have you had any since you've been back here?
No, no, it's what, it was a joke that I have with a friend. I think it was actually cool actually. Everything that he used to eat, he used to put like tomato ketchup in it, and I'm like, the chef has been preparing a sauce for I don't know how long for you, and you're putting tomato ketchup in it. I'm like, tell the guy to not bother. To be honest, I think tomato ketchup goes with French fries, and that's it. The rest, you know, especially in the West Indies, my mom will always do a sauce for something, especially if it's rice. So I grew up like that, but it was just a joke. It was just like I was having a go at Ashley. That's it.
How would you review your first full season in MLS with the Red Bulls? Was it what you expected?
I mean, I don't plan anything at the beginning of the season other than winning it. That's it. So at the end of the day, we didn't win it, so not a great season. I don't. I mean, every time people always ask me personally, how did you do? It doesn't really matter. We didn't win, so I can come to a how did you do type of thing if you win the league. Then you're like, oh yeah, we did well that day, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's a team effort, and we didn't play well enough and did what we had to do during the season to be able to win it. I know we gave LA a good go though. Yeah, we were missing a lot of players going to their place, and we were winning 1-0, and we had the chance to make it 2-0. And it would have been another story, but at the end of the day, I guess they were the best team, and you know when you said the luck goes to the way goes the way uh, goes to the team. Sorry, that worked the most during the season, and deserved it the most. So LA won it because they deserved it the most. They lost 4 games during the season. We lost 12 or something like that. We finished 26 points behind them. So you know, we were what we were where we're supposed to be. But could have been way better.
Did you spend much time with David Beckham when you were out in New
Well, it's on
York?
the West Coast. Uh, it's far. So, I didn't have the time to, we speak a lot always on the phone. But, him being in LA, obviously we have games at the weekend, so I can't see him, but we do definitely speak a lot.
There's been some great players come over from America to the Premier League. Have you spotted some exciting players in MLS right now that we should be aware of?
Well, it depends. I mean, we had a young kid, still have a young kid playing for us called Agudelo. He definitely has the potential to come and play in Europe. Now, is he going to come or fulfill that potential? We don't know. Uh, Tim Ream also, our center back, Break Shea, playing for Dallas. You have some players that I can see playing here. Bunbury playing for Kansas City. I'm not going to go, naming everybody Beckerman. Some guys that can play. Um, Obviously, you have the usual suspect that came already: Donovan, Clint Dempsey, Howard, Brad Friedel back in the days. But all those guys, I think it's about can they come, and after are they going to succeed? It's another story, but they definitely have the potential to do it.
So, Thierry, when did you first visit New York, and when did you first realise you'd fallen in love with the city?
I think the first time I went to New York was '96. Yeah, '96. And first of all, I always wanted to go for a very long time. I don't know why, I don't know if it's your case, but you always have a town that one day I want to go there. So it was always New York. And as soon as I arrived there, I knew, I was like, no, I need to come back here and I want to live there one day. Yeah, so right from the start.
And what's the best thing about living there?
It's kind of weird, just the vibe in the city, just the vibe around New York City. There's no places like New York City, if you think about it well. It's like, uh, it's kind of weird. You want to live with the city and go at the pace of the city, all the very best, but you can. Always something happening. You can also keep it cool. You have shows, you have like nice cafe, all nice parks. You can ride your bike, cinemas. I don't know. I'm not. You go to Seoul, it's a great vibe. You go to the West Village, it's different, but still cool. You go to Chelsea, the same. You go to Tribeca, whatever. Then you want to go more touristic thing, you go Midtown. Then you have Central Park. Then Upper East, whatever. It's just great.
Have you got any special tips to anyone going there for the first time, where you'd recommend, oh, you've got to go it?
I can't recommend anything. You know why? Because that's the beauty of New York. If you ask me like my favorite place, I'll tell you one place. You ask someone else from New York, to say, "Oh no, that place is another one." It's like just go and enjoy it. Just just make it your New York. Like make it your thing. That's the beauty of New York. You always have something happening. There's always like you come 2 years after the restaurant is not there anymore. It's like, well, I used to go there all the time. Gone. It's like make it whatever you want to make it with New York. Whatever you want to do there can be done. I mean, obviously, what you can do.
So, any hangouts that you go to particularly?
Well, it's kind of weird because I do like the town, and it's the only town that you said to me right now, let's go and have a walk. I would say yes. It's the only town in the world that you will make me walk. It's New York City. It's something always you always see something, but I'm a home guy. I like to stay at home. So to relax, my place. Then to go to eat, a couple of Italian restaurants, Chinese, Japanese, whatever, French, going to some shows, whatever. But to relax, relax. My house.
Do you have a favorite restaurant?
It depends, I love dim sum, so sometimes I go to Chinatown and have some dim sum. You have always some good Italian restaurants. You can go to some nice hotel also too. I don't have like a place. It's that's what I love about New York. Everything can change in a minute. Um, I don't have like a special place.
You've mentioned in the past that you enjoy the anonymity of New York in comparison to, say, London and Paris for you. Um, how much is that a factor of your enjoyment of New York?
It is, but that's not the main thing. For example, in New York City, I can ride a bike, go out and take my bicycle, go around, go on the West Side Highway and just go up and down the town, go to Battery Park, whatever. It's kind of weird. I wouldn't have been able to do that anywhere else without being relaxed. You know, I just don't know. I mean, it is important, but it is not also the only reason or the reason why I like New York.
What do you miss when you're not there?
It's kind of weird. It's difficult. The other day I was talking to a friend. I was like, you know what? I miss New York. I cannot put my finger on it. It's just New York. It's everything. You can have any restaurant delivering food for you. Everything is so easy to get in New York. They make life easy for you. You want something, you can have it done like in a second. You want to go out, everything is right in front of your building. So there is not like a thing, but I don't know. I just miss the whole thing, the smell. I know it's not the best smell in the world. It's kind of weird, the smell, people moving, and I won't say I miss traffic because that would be lying. But just the whole vibe sometime being in Seoul and downtown, because that's where I stay the most. I stay downtown the most. Uh, Being able to go to a park, shows, whatever. I'm not going to say what I said before, but it's the whole, just New York City. Obviously, people always talk about Manhattan, but then you have Brooklyn is amazing. You can go to Harlem, you can go to Queens, you can go to, I mean, because when people talk about New York, they always talk about the city, Manhattan, but then New York is way bigger than that. So I'm obviously living in the city, so I always talk about the city.
Outside of your family and your football, um, what are you into? What are your passions?
Oh, you know what? I'm a big NBA fan. Uh, I know some people are going to say I'm a bit boring because again, it's sport. But I'm a sports guy, and I do respect other sports, and the one that I respect the most and admire and I'm a huge fan of is NBA. So yeah, obviously now living in the US, I'm more than happy every time to go at the Madison Square Garden and see and see some of the games. But yeah, I grew up with Michael Jordan playing basketball, so me loving basketball, growing up with him playing, that was amazing for me to see. As you said, I mean, you asked me to not including my friends, but it is pretty important to have my friends around, my family, spending time with them, going to cinemas, shows, whatever. I know I'm going out of the subject now, but to go back to it, yeah, the NBA, that one of my that's what one, sorry, of my favorite pastime.
You said that you plan to talk to some of the younger players in training and in the dressing room. What will you try and communicate to them?
Well, I mean, whatever it is, simple stuff. Like I said, the stuff in the dressing room, that I won't say stuff. For me, a dressing room, it's very private. So the type of stuff that you say in the dressing room, I will whatever comes across. It's not like I had stuff planned to say. It's like so when something happened, like, oh, be careful. That's not how you do it. That's how you do it, or whatever. The everyday thing that happens in the dressing room.
We asked our Puma fans to send in their questions for Thierry Henry, and a lot of these questions have been fans from readers, and a lot of them have asked, "Have you got any plans to become a coach?"
Well, everybody's asking me this. It does seem like people are thinking that, I mean, I'm obviously closer to the end of my career than the beginning, but I actually didn't think about it. I said it so many times. I'm trying to kind of finish my career in a good way and enjoy the last years. Uh, but for sure, I will be back in the game. How? I actually don't know, but I will be back in the game. Now I can't tell you now if I'm gonna be a boss or not a boss or assistant or whatever it is, or maybe not involved. I just don't know. Like I'm saying, assistant or not, but for sure I will be back in the game somehow.